Well, a few years ago, Toronto theatre company Canadian Stage got a new artistic director, and soon after, a new season. Matthew Jocelyn's lineup was a real departure from what audiences were used to from Canadian Stage. Some considered the plays, esoteric. Others thought them brave and interesting choices. Well, today, Canadian Stage announced its new season. Critic, theatre-goer at large, and always passionate pursuer of plays, Lynn Slotkin was there for the news. And she's here now to assess how the season comes to build on or departs from last year's experiment. Hi, Lynn. Have you calmed down from that funky song?
Was that Lady Gaga?
No,
somebody else. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hi, Lynn.
Good.
What's on tap at Canadian Stage?
Well, artistic director Matthew Jocelyn said in his introduction, his aim is to present essential theatre of our time on a grand scale, presented by original, bold, and fearless creators of theatre. The lineup certainly is bold. We have Another Africa, 2 plays from the Africa trilogy that played last summer at Luminato. Orpheus and Eurydice, choreographed and directed by Marie Chouinard from Quebec. Red, Tony Award-winning play about artist Mark Rothko and his young assistant, directed by Kim Collier, and who directed Studies in Motion this year at Canadian Stage. Cruel and Tender by Martin Crimp, directed by Adam Agoyan.
I've heard of him.
I've heard of him too, he's sweet. Anyway, and it's about deposing a dictator. Does that sound familiar?
Very.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Then we have The You Show, created and choreographed by Crystal Pite, who also choreographed Studies in Motion earlier this year. The Game of Love and Chance, a boy meets girl story with 2 happy endings, apparently, directed by Matthew Jocelyn. I Send You Cadmium Red, letters sent between 2 men who are artists of sorts, set to music and choreographed by James Kidelka. Then The Test, a dark comedy starring Eric Peterson. A short group of Beckett plays called Beckett Feckett, directed by, can I say that on the radio? I just did.
Beckett.
Anyway, directed by Jennifer Tarver, and Clybourne Park, which is a huge hit in London, directed by Joel Greenberg and produced by Studio 180.
That is one busy lineup.
That's right.
How does that compare to last year's, do you think?
Well, I think it's bigger. Last year there were 9 shows over 2 theaters and a small Italian festival of visiting companies. They will come here in April. And then there's Dream in High Park. The upcoming season has 11 plays plus the Dream in High Park with no international festival component. But I still think it's a bigger festival. On reviewing the list, they deal with big themes such as art and commerce, war and peace, politics, and paternity tests, and they are more intellectual than sentimental.
But what does this tell us about the direction Canadian Stage is going in, especially given where it sort of went last year?
Yeah. I asked Matthew Jocelyn if he changed his game plan, considering his first season, how his first season went. He had certainly lower attendance than previous years, and he said he hasn't changed it at all. He was hired for a reason, to be bold and iconoclastic, and that's exactly what he's doing. Jocelyn has a clear vision where he wants Canadian Stage to go. So, as I said when I reviewed his first show last year, it's something like, we aren't in Kansas anymore, Toto. He's not competing with other commercial companies such as Dan Cap and Mirvish, nor is he competing with Soul Pepper.
Yeah, but he does have a lot of names,
yes.
Eric Peterson, Adam Agoyan, James Kidelka. Some might say that is a grab for audience, trying to, lure people into the seats.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't think so.
I'd pay big money. I don't have to, but I would pay big money to see any of these people. If anything, I sense that he's going toe-to-toe with the World Stage Festival and the international companies being brought to that festival. And he's doing it with Canadian artists, translators, directors, choreographers, and actors. He feels this is a sophisticated city, and the theater should reflect that.
We were saying that the audience has dwindled, in that first year.
Yeah.
He's saying he's staying on track, but
yes.
Do you think this is a little bit of a wake-up call?
Well, I think it's interesting, and of course it's concerning. If you are fed a certain diet for years, as the audience at Canadian Stage was, and then it changes suddenly, you might not be used to it. So what do? Do you stick it out and expand your palette? Do you look for more of the same plays than before? I think Jocelyn's plans are bold and fearless, and I'm always up for that. You know?
Yeah, we like bold and fearless.
I can't believe that Canadian stage audiences don't see anything else but the usual fare they had in the past. Interestingly, when Luminato produced the 7-hour Robert Lepage show, Lip Sync, using the Bluma Appel Theatre, it was sold out. Yet when Jocelyn programmed a Robert Lepage show, The Anderson Project, in the same theatre, the audiences went down. You know, I tell you, you can go crazy trying to figure out the taste of an audience.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't. He feeds them a varied, piquant diet, and I love that. I love he will not program to accommodate the general taste. I think it's deadly when artistic directors do that. Instead, he gives them what he thinks they deserve, which is a sophisticated audience. He gives them challenging, in-your-face work that celebrates the variety of the artists in this country. He said at the end, "Get ready. We're waiting for you." Okay, are there enough sophisticated audiences to answer that call? I'd like to think so. To be continued, Laura.
Okay, so maybe that's a call out to the listeners.
That's
if you
right.
care about, edgier theater.
You know, you think this is a world-class city? This is step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Suck it up and stop whining.
All right,
Somebody
Lynn.
said that recently.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Lynn. Love it when you drop by. That is Lynn Slotkin, passionate playgoer and critic. You can check out her website at slotkinletter.com, and we'll post a link to the new Canadian stage season on our website, and that is at cbc.ca/here and now. And here's Jim.